For today's video, we're going to look at the 3 different versions of the Blue Dragon console. 2 of them released by Microsoft and 1 of them released by Bandai. So let's get started. So Blue Dragon was Microsoft's attempt to capture more of a bigger market share of the Japanese market. They decided to go with a pretty strong push toward traditional JRPGs to try to increase the buy rate in Japan for Microsoft consoles. Did it work? Not really. In a way, they sold more games. Blue Dragon sold 200,000 copies in Japan, which is a pretty good amount. And it did increase their position in the Japanese market, but nothing significant. And as time went on, any gains they had were lost, and they ultimately ended up pulling out of the Japanese market altogether. But it's an interesting game. It's a lot of interesting things that went along with it. But we have 3 different things here that we're going to unbox, and then I have some other items from my collection that I want to show off here as well. This is kind of a cheat. This isn't really a console. It's more of like a TV plug and play. But let's go ahead and just open this one up and see what's in the box, because I haven't seen this one yet. Interesting. It's like kind of falling apart. The glue is coming off of it. So I know this is just a cheap kind of plug and play system, but it looks like it comes with an instruction book that's taped down to the cardboard here. I guess we'll go ahead and undo this. And of course, the instructions are, I believe this is in Japanese, or I don't know. So, not going to be able to read that. But here's the actual unit itself, if I can get it out. It's just a little battery powered thing with a sensor on it. And these are the controllers. From what I gather on this, and like I said, I don't read Japanese or Chinese, or I'm not sure if this is, it's weird, it doesn't, maybe it's got both on there. I don't know. If anybody can tell any of what this says, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'll put some pictures up of the box as well so you can see it a little bit better. So if anybody feels like translating, more power to you. But from what I gather, you have these little things that you put on your fingers, and basically you swing with your hand. It's like a motion control thing, kind of like the Wii in a way. You swing with your hands to get the characters to do things. So it doesn't seem too exciting, but figured I better include it here. There's also a AV cable here. But I thought that was a little interesting piece. Put put that to the side. And there are two different editions of the real console, what we're getting to here. There's the limited edition, which is the one over here on the left, on my left. And then there's the standard edition over here. This has a lot more features in it than this one. So let's tear into them and see what comes with the consoles. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the standard edition one. I've opened this one up already. The other one down here I haven't, the limited edition. I just got it, so I haven't opened it up, haven't really looked at it. It was sold as new, but I don't see any seals or anything on it any longer, so I suspect it was probably, at the very least, open. It may never have been used, but it was definitely open before. This one was sold as used, so when you open it up, inside the box is another box and a box. So this is just your standard Japanese version of the Xbox 360 arcade, I guess, or core, or whatever they call it. So basically when you open it up, you're just going to have your console, packing pieces, and your cords of power brick and controller, which the controller's not in here. So nothing too special there. The only thing that this one came with was in this neat little box here. Came with a copy of the game. This one's open. 3 discs, if you didn't know. This was the biggest Xbox 360 game at the time. So that's really it for that one. Now let's move on to the limited edition. For the limited edition, there's a little bit more stuff in here. Again, you open it up and another Xbox 360 core, arcade, whatever they call it. But in this, you also get a box of goodies. And this one came with, looks like, some startup instructions, Xbox Live code, and some other things here. Some other inserts. We'll go ahead and open up this but again, it's pretty much the same thing. This one does have a little flyer on it that talks about Last Remnant. On the back of it, it's got some coming soon games. I don't know if this came with this, or on the back it's got Ace Combat. Boy, some of these I don't know because they're in Japanese. Assassin's Creed, Project Gotham Racing 4, Lost Odyssey. Lost Odyssey was the other game that Microsoft heavily invested into with this Mistwalker development studio to try to get in there. There's a third game called Cryon that was canceled during development. But again, we have the 360 console. Let's see what's in here. Just the, controller and cables and the power brick. And if you're really interested. But the goodies, let me put this to the side. Goodies are in this box here. So inside here, we have, I don't know, some kind of sheet with words on it. Copy of the Blue Dragon game in pretty beat up shape. It's mostly sealed, but it's pretty torn up. Inside of here, there is the custom Blue Dragon faceplate. And along with that, you get 5 of the characters. You know what? I've actually got another set of these, so I'm going to leave these closed. And I'll grab go ahead and grab the other ones that are already open. Three, two, one. I bought another set a long time ago of these before I got the the edition. This just got my old original faceplate in it from my regular Xbox. But these are already open, so I don't feel too bad about opening them again. But basically what you get in here, you get these figurines. This is Kluk. This is Zola. And then there's wings that go on the back here too. I'm not going to take those out though. That's Maru. I'm not going to keep taking these out of the plastic. They're kind of a pain to get back in. These are all characters in the game. And I think in this one's Shu. Yep, that's Shu. I'll go ahead and take this one out because this is the actual, that's the main character. I don't know if it will focus or not, but and then the last one here, that's Jiro. I guess I'll just take them out. I don't know if that'll help or not, but. All right, so that's it for the consoles. Now I'm just gonna real quick show you some other things Blue Dragon related that I've got over the years. Besides the game itself, Microsoft also released demo versions of this. This went out with the Xbox magazine. In Japan, some of the pre-orders got a Blue Dragon t-shirt. On the back it says Xbox 360. They put a big article in Game Informer. There's a huge spread on it when it was released. Like a whole bunch of pages on it. This was the, didn't even say. Issue 166. I don't know what month that is or anything. Doesn't seem to say on here. Unless I'm totally missing it. Anyway. In Japan, there was also, this is interesting, it's a promotional paperclip set. They're metal paper clips with laser etched with the different characters on it. They also had, this is a sticker set that you could put on the console. This is a sticker set that goes onto the console. There's instructions on how to peel it all off and that. I've never taken it off, but there's the cover for the faceplate, the top, and everything. There were other giveaways as well. They had some posters. Let's see if I can get this back together. Here's a poster that they gave out at game stores. This is a US version of it. A lot of the stuff is for US, but there's also a Japanese version of this one. I just happen to only have the US version of it. And of course, there are strategy guides. There was strategy guides for, this is for the, this is for Blue Dragon. I think this might be for, I don't know. This goes into all the characters and everything. There's also US versions of this. Is a strategy guide for one of the DS games, which we'll get to in a minute. And this is actually a comic, manga of the story. They also released a role-playing card game. There's 2 starter decks. You have the Light Shadow Wielder, Dark Shadow Wielder, and then there's booster packs. This thing is, they sold them just like Pokemon cards. It's filled with booster packs. They had a calendar for 2007. Inside of this, there's on the calendar, there's different pictures for every month. This is a part of the limited edition. This is the bonus stuff. I also have a separate version of that, or a separate box of that I bought. And then they also released an anime. I have a complete series here that's still sealed. The anime is actually available on YouTube. If you just search for Blue Dragon, it'll come right up for you. There's a lot of stuff that went along with this anime too, like this clock here. I bought this I just thought was the strangest thing, Blue Dragon clock. They also released games for the DS. You've got Blue Dragon Plus, Blue Dragon Awakened Shadow, and then I have the Japanese versions of those games as well. And I'm not even sure what this book is. It's got some information in Japanese on it, but then you get into it and there's just a bunch of blank spaces where you can fill in information. I don't know if it's some kind of like log or something, logbook, but if anybody knows really what this is for. And again, this is modeled more toward, this might be for the card game, because this is labeled as Bandai Namco games rather than Microsoft. All of these, well, the card game's Konami. It's really interesting that Konami did the card game. This plug and play game is Bandai. But I'm not sure what this is. But it's labeled as Bandai Namco games, so. Anyhow, until the next one, thanks for watching.